Well, ladies and gentlemen, it looks like that we're gonna be getting a whole lot of fake news in the next coming weeks to maybe even months. Okay, are you ready for that? If so, clench your butt cheeks real quick, because apparently they are saying that COVID-19 is back. I got a bunch of clips that I want to share with you in this one, and yeah, roll it.
The pandemic pushed the world indoors. Between 2020 and 2022, it killed millions of people. But is it making a comeback now? In Hong Kong, a new wave has begun. Infection rate has jumped from 1.7% in mid-March to 11.4% in just the week ending May 3rd.
And that is like after the jabs, right? Like after everybody got the jabs. And I believe in Hong Kong, a lot of people got the jabs. I want to, okay, I'm going to Google.
One severe cases were reported with 31 deaths. This is a one-year high for the country. Cases are surging in Thailand as well. Last week, more than 33,000 cases were reported, with at least...
Okay, that is pretty crazy. So this is, I just Googled how many people got the COVID vaccine in Hong Kong, because we're on that topic. So 71% in the 80 years or older, but between 18 to 49 years old, 103%. What? How is that even possible? I guess maybe more than one jab. Maybe some people got the triple jab, quadruple jab, so maybe that's why it's making like 100%. So even after all that, you're telling me that in Hong Kong cases are rising? That is something ain't adding up. Something is kind of suspect.
At least 6,000 from Bangkok alone.
If true.
The total has more than doubled from the week before. Meanwhile, Singapore is witnessing its first major spike in a year. More than 14,000 cases were reported in the week ending May 3rd, up from the week before. So why are cases rising again? Experts attribute the Wuhan virus resurgence to a range of factors, like waning immunity, fewer booster shots,
there we go,
and increased vulnerability among high-risk groups, like the elderly and unvaccinated children.
Dang.
Experts say that there are no...
And speaking of unvaccination and children, yeah, apparently RFK Jr., if I'm not mistaken, because I'm not in the States, so I'm not in the US, so yeah, right, RFK Jr., I believe. Let me actually zoom out and let me just bubble check that. Yeah, RFK Jr., there we go, just bubble check that. So yeah, so RFK Jr. also spoke about this, which was pretty wild, alright, so
dangerous new variants. The cases have been attributed to strains descending from the JN1 variant. This was first found in August 2023. JN1 has about 30 mutations. The most common ones are being found in the recent cases. And experts say that the current variants are not more severe or contagious than earlier ones. So while there is cause for concern, but no need to panic.
Oh yeah.
After all, the Wuhan...
We're gonna panic! We are gonna panic, ladies and gentlemen! We gotta panic! But that's the craziest thing, right? So people ended up getting those DLC updates, aka those jabs. Thank you, Matt, for subscribing, but you do not have to. And people were wearing masks, which of course never helped. Unless you had like those, I believe, X95 masks, then that was different. But normal surgical masks, that didn't do jack, right? But people were wearing them. I mean, they got all the public to wear that, right? I'm just gonna wear this suit because I'm tired of all that. And the craziest thing is that the DLC, the patch notes that people receive with those jabs, right? Apparently, they are not good for what's happening right now. I don't know, man. That is, yeah, what about that? What about the patch notes you guys push? What about those DLC updates, right? The triple jabs, the quadruple jab and all that, you know what I'm saying, right? How many of you guys got jab? 1 in the comments if you did, 2 in the comments if you did not. How many of you are jab free? Let me know in the comments.
Wuhan virus is not going away. It is evolving, making its return every now and then. So as health authorities are urging vigilance, governments are speeding up vaccinations. What about India? Cases have seen a slight uptick in recent days. Currently, there are at least 257 active cases. The highest number of cases come from the state of Kerala.
Not that much, but what we know is that it spreads, right? So it's gonna, if it's spreading this much, it's gonna multiply fast.
Followed by Maharashtra, where 2 deaths have been reported, and Tamil Nadu. India is closely monitoring the situation. After all, preparedness is key, and the world has made some progress in this area. After 3 years of negotiations, countries have adopted the pandemic agreement. They signed off at an annual meeting of the World Health Organization. This is only the second time in the WHO's history that an international agreement has been reached.
Are we gonna go on a lockdown again, bro? Like, what is going on? Yeah, it's probably not gonna work this time around, but I mean, if the country goes on a lockdown, you gotta abide by the rules, I guess, right? I remember when the first lockdown happened, the highways, the streets were completely empty when they put those curfew laws. I believe that's what it was called. Yeah, bro, it was like 5 years ago, bro. That is crazy. Time flies like crazy. But I remember there was also panic around that time. Probably we're not gonna see the same level of panic this time around. People are waking up to all that bull squash, right? And it's crazy that the jabs that people received didn't even work, is what we're finding out. Not my opinion, that's what we're finding out, but wait for it, I guess.
The first was the tobacco control deal in 2003. Of course, the US is not part of this agreement, having withdrawn from the WHO. After Donald Trump took office, this may dim the treaty's success. But this legally binding accord is a positive step. It requires countries to take steps to prevent, prepare for, and respond to pandemics. With rapid sharing of data on new diseases, and improved accessibility of vaccines, masks, and other crucial supplies across the globe. And for the first time, the WHO itself will have an overview of this. While execution...
then it's over. But here's the thing, right? This is gonna generate a whole lot of fake news. It's gonna generate a whole lot of BS conspiracies as well, which is true, right? Because here's the thing, when it first started breaking out, remember like back in 2020 when COVID started breaking out, there were a whole lot of fake news, there was a whole lot of conspiracies, BS conspiracies, made up conspiracies, but there were also, which made like normal average people look bad, because there were normal folks out there that were like, hey, so the vaccine out there, we want to know the side effects of it. What are going to be the long-term side effects of it? Yeah, what's in it exactly? We just want to know, right? Like, we don't want to be guinea pigs, which is fair. That was a fair assessment and fair question, right? But then you also had like the other side that was like, hey man, it's gonna have this, that, the other. So we had a lot of fake news, a lot of fake conspiracies that made normal people asking normal questions look bad. And then you had like the other side that were pushing it, hey, gotta get those jabs, man, yay, I got the jabs, this and that, right? So we had like all these situation, and then it became political, which is, I mean, crazy to talk about. I mean, you know, people had genuine concerns, genuine questions, which I guess everybody should do those critical thinking. Everybody should be critical about situations like that, because you're putting something in the body that you're not even aware of, right? Like, what are you putting in your body? You don't even know, right? So yeah, people had genuine questions, but because we had like fake stuff, we had people making stuff up with the conspiracies, this, that, the other, and then people also made it political. And the news channels made it political, and they wanted to make it political, therefore, you know, and they were like, hey, you gotta take our side. People started taking sides, then it became political. So it was pretty bad in that aspect. So is the same gonna happen again? I guess we're gonna find out. Check this one out. So RFK Jr. actually spoke on this earlier, which is crazy. Roll it.
Hi, everybody. I'm Robert F. Kennedy Jr., your HHS Secretary, and I'm here today with NIH Director Dr. Jay Bhattacharya and FDA Commissioner Dr. Marty Makary. I couldn't be more pleased to announce that as of today, the COVID vaccine for healthy children and healthy pregnant women has been removed from the CDC recommended immunization schedule.
That's good.
Last year, the Biden administration...
Yeah, people have the right to whether get the vax or not get the jab, right? Like, if you think you need it, go get it. Like, I'm not against it, I'm not for it. I personally didn't get it. I personally did not. Yeah, because, bro, like, it was not clear, man. It was not clear. There was a whole lot of bull squash that came out, and there was a whole lot of other bull squash that came out right after, too. Yeah, and I didn't need it. I didn't need it. If you think you need it, go get it. Simple as that. If you think you don't need it, don't get it. Don't force people into that bull squash, right? And that's good that healthy children and preggo women, yeah, like, it should not be mandatory, bro. Because substantial research was not done based off of the data we received after the fact.
Administration urged healthy children to get yet another COVID shot despite the lack of any clinical data. to support the repeat booster strategy in children.
That ends today. It's common sense. It's good science.
W.
There's no evidence.
Thoughts? You think that's an L? Put it in the comments. I think that's a W.
Healthy kids need it today, and most countries have stopped recommending it for children.
Yeah.
We're now one step closer to realizing President Trump's promise to make America healthy again.
Make America, make Canada healthy again, to make the entire world healthy again. But I get it, America don't need to be, and I know you guys down there, you don't want America doing the world policing stuff. I understand, I get that. But also, real quick though, okay? Shout out to the homie Marvin, before I show you guys the next stuff here. Shout out to the homie Marvin for the $10. Shout out to the homie Robert for the 10. Shout out to the homie Sheba for the 10. Shout out to the homie, the Queen AK, the Queen AK. You guys don't have to tip anything. You guys don't have to like the video. You guys have to not even subscribe. You guys, the amount of love you guys are showing is just amazing. I appreciate it, but you guys have to do none of that. Check this roller. So this is why on. Amid a resurgence of COVID-19 cases in Asia, India has logged over 1,000 active cases as of May 26. Today is the May 27 by the time I'm filming. The video is gonna come out midnight May 28. East Coast, Kerala, Maharashtra, and Delhi recorded the most numbers of new infection. Wait, what? Kerala leads with 430 new coronavirus infections, followed by Maharashtra with 209 cases. Delhi has reported 104 cases, out of which 99 were reported in the last week. I've only had that testing once, bro, and the nurse that did it on me, she ended up giving me the brain, bro. Pause, bro. Like, that was wild. But it seems like that it's spreading in Asia and also in India, so... But check this one out. This is where we're gonna get down into some dark stuff here, fellas. So clench your butt cheeks, put your seatbelts on, and here we go.
We want to play you an extremely heartbreaking interaction between a mother whose daughter was killed by the Pfizer injection.
Allegedly. I gotta say allegedly, okay? I'm just reacting to the news out there, alright? This is all allegedly, alright?
And Speaker Mike Johnson. Take a listen.
My daughter was a 29-year-old nurse who was killed by the Pfizer vaccine.
Oh, boy.
And I talk to vaccine-injured people every day. They're being ignored. They are hurting. They aren't getting disability. They aren't getting help from anybody. What are we going to do about this?
I'm so sorry. Y'all couldn't hear that back here, but her daughter is 29, passed away as a complication of the Pfizer vaccine. Is that right? The COVID vaccine? It is an issue around the country, and it hasn't been given the due attention that it needs. We'll have some hearings in the new Congress about that to figure out who's responsible and why. Was there adequate warning and all the rest? It's affected a lot of families around the country. So I'm so sorry for your loss.
Thank you.
So sorry.
I'm a pharmacist. Yeah. I saw the warnings.
Yeah.
They were out there. I was censored.
You were censored?
I was...
That is true though. There was a whole lot of censorship around that time. That is why I personally did not get it. That was my reasoning, because there was so much information that was coming out, which I know a lot of it was fake, a lot of it, and that's why it does not help the case, right? Because a rational human being, a rational person, and I know a lot of you guys are rational too watching this, and a lot of you would be asking questions of, hey, what's in it? What's not in it? What are the long-term side effects? What are the near-term side effects? What's in it? Like, yeah, I just want to know. I just want to get the data. And there was a whole lot of horrible news that was coming out that was against it. And there was a whole lot of fake news too, a lot of conspiracies that were BS as well at the same time. And there was a whole lot of crazy, legit stuff too that was against it. So you know what, I put 2 and 2 together. I was like, nah bro, I ain't gonna get it, okay? I ain't gonna get it. But some people got it, and some people did not want it to get it, but they had to get it because yeah, at least here where I'm at, Montreal, Canada, let me know where you guys are at, and let me know what country you're in. I know like US, you guys got like 50 countries. You know, say like 52 states, I believe, right? Oh no, 50 states. What am I even saying? 50 states, okay? Not 51st, not 52, although I don't mind personally. Wait, what? Say it's like, but I know it's not gonna happen, okay? Canada, US, not gonna happen. But I'm not against the idea. I'm not for the, a little bit for the idea, I guess, right? Like I think we can be something huge. Canada, US, I think we can be something huge, but of course it's not gonna happen, so not gonna even entertain the idea. We can joke about it, but whatever, okay? But at least here in Canada, I have friends personally. Like, I'm self-employed, so I do YouTube stuff, I do other stuff. So I basically, in other words, I do not go to an office to work, right? And my friends, all right, people I know, and I know generally speaking as well, basically you need the vaccine passport to enter your job. And of course they made it work from home after the fact, so yeah, right, you could not fly. You needed the testing, then you needed the COVID passports, and then you needed both. So it's ridiculous, right? And in some places I even heard, and you guys let me know in the comments as well, right, whether it happened where you are or not. But in some places, even at schools for kids couldn't even attend classes unless they had the COVID vaccine passport, which is crazy. And of course there was like homeschooling, online schooling, yeah, online classes, right? So there was that. But if you want to attend like physical class, you needed to show that. So, you know, a lot of people that did not want it to they got it because they wanted to simply go to work or go to school, this, that, the other, right? They gotta put food on the table, gotta make their money, right? So they had to do that. But yeah, right, it was crazy. And now 5 years later, everybody forgot about it. I guess it's because like we were like so isolated, and lockdowns happened, people were sick and tired of it. So yeah, personally for me, because as I work from home, so I didn't necessarily mind the lockdown too much. I go outside as well, but I work from home, so for me it did not affect, especially to the introverts. Like, where my introverts at though, let me know in the comments. But yeah, but to the extroverts or people that are, you know, that love spaces, that love collaborative spaces, that want to go out and work, for them it was torture, right? It was hell. So I guess this is why. And it feels like a blip. It really feels like a blip on the radar between 2020 and 2024. Right now we're coming back to the senses. Okay, so time is moving, right? Time is moving, I guess, moving way too fast. And guess what? As soon as people are like, aha, going back to normal, they're like, new patch notes ready for deployment. New DLC coming in, but wait for it.
Censored on social media, and my daughter died because of it.
Well, she says that
allegedly
some of the warnings were out there and she tried to share it and she was censored on social media. That is not a conspiracy theory. That actually happened. You know it did. In fact, there was a big court case that came out on July 4th, not this year, but previous year, 143 pages. The Western District of Louisiana, a federal court looked at all the evidence and they said that the White House, the Biden-Harris White House, were working with the big tech platforms in Silicon Valley, meeting with them almost weekly through the FBI field office out there, a guy named Elvis Chan. You can Google this, okay? Well, maybe not Google. You can find it elsewhere. But they censored and silenced different viewpoints on the COVID vaccine, the dangers of it, and all that. It's all detailed in this long court opinion. He said the censorship was so great that it was dystopian in its scope. It was like it's some sort of. He said it was the greatest violation of free speech in the history of the First Amendment. Okay, so that's real. It really did happen, and real people suffered because of it. We've got to make sure that people who appreciate and are willing to give their lives to protect our freedoms and the First Amendment and the Second Amendment and all of, you know, right, all of our fundamental freedoms. Yeah, those are the people in charge of these decisions, not the big state government elitists, and that's what.
Yeah, like, let people question it and show the data. Like, people just want to know like the long-term side effects of it, what's in it, and is it really going to prevent it? Short answer: people even after getting triple jab, you still were catching the Ronas though. So I don't know if that's effective or not, because we on YouTube here, so I don't know. I'm just asking questions. Don't worry, I'll drink my fluoride water here and dumb myself down. Hopefully no fluoride in this. They said that there's no fluoride now, but that's bull squash, right? But I'll drink my fluoride water, okay? I'll drink my fluoride water. So yeah, there you go.
What happened, and that's the problem, and people literally died because of it, and I'm so sorry for your loss.
So here we have an admission from the third most powerful person in the United States that they're aware that people died from the COVID injections. It's an issue around the country, he says. And
eventually we're gonna have one of those things, right? Just like how we had JFK files disclosure, right? And they're talking about 911 files disclosure eventually, that we're gonna get it where, yeah, aliens, UFO files, they said. Anna Paulina Luna claimed that we're gonna have the disclosure soon, and they're gonna do the files disclosure, so we're gonna get them files. I guess 10 years, 20 years, 50 years from now, we're probably gonna get a COVID disclosure as well in terms of that, and we're gonna find the actual truth. Check this.
This is Secretary Robert F. Kennedy Jr. says he is removing the CDC's recommendation for children and healthy pregnant women to get the COVID-19 vaccine. And a new variant of the virus has made its way into the U.S. The strain is now being reported in at least 4 states, including California, Washington, Virginia, and the New York City area. Let's bring in Dr. William Schaffner. He's an infectious disease expert and professor of medicine at Vanderbilt University Medical Center. So, doctor, I mentioned this new variant comes at a time when the FDA is also planning on limiting access to the COVID vaccine come the fall, demanding new trials. How significant is today's announcement about the removal of this recommendation for children and pregnant women?
Well, Lindsay, the removal of the recommendation for younger persons and pregnant women is a top-down recommendation. You know, normally we give recommendations to the CDC's Advisory Committee on Immunization Practices, and they then send that recommendation up through the CDC director to the secretary. And that system has worked very well for over 60 years. And so we're in a little bit of uncertain turf here about how recommendations are going to be made going into the future. Now, let me say quickly that the CDC's Advisory Committee is scheduled to meet in June, and actually their discussions in their previous meeting looked to me as though they were moving in an entirely similar direction. So at the moment, I think the availability of vaccines for younger persons and for pregnant women, just as the COVID summer surge is about to begin, is a little bit uncertain about whether insurers will pay for it.
Let's talk about COVID summer surge, the possibility of. Is that because of this new variant, or is that because in summers past we've also seen...
Y'all made so much money off of these vaccines, bro. Y'all made so much money off of that. That is crazy.
An uptick in cases. And what can you tell us about this new variant?
Yeah, it's for several summers before, we've had a summer, midsummer, late summer surge in addition to the winter surge. It's like a two-hump camel that we have. This new variant appears to be a member of the Omicron family, just another cousin, if you will, to those Omicron variants that are going around. Does not appear to be more severe, is likely to be contagious, and the currently available vaccine is likely to continue to provide protection.
I hope so. I hope like the patch note's gonna work this time for the people that got the jab, because if I actually ended up getting the jab and I still got hit with it, I would have been mad, okay? I would have been pretty mad. So hopefully it's gonna work. But did you see this video though? Yeah, check this one out. Click on this video on the screen, because apparently they caught a UFO mothership in the air. Check it out and I'll see you right there.